Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast in a game between oGs's MC versus Czech here in the Xel'Naga Caverns. Now unfortunately this is the second time I'm casting this game, as the first time I cast it my microphone was actually muted, so yeah, gonna be very difficult. On top of that, if you guys cannot hear, I sound more like a robot just because my voice is currently hurting. oGs is, Czech Prime spawning as the blue Zerg on the bottom left hand side of the map. oGs's MC spawning on the top right hand side as the yellow Protoss. This is Protoss versus Zerg, and the reason why they are not on their own accounts is this game is taking place on the American servers, even though they're typing in Korean. I'm sure a translator will be out there sometime, so yeah, probe now making its way down south. We'll be able to walk up that ramp in just a moment and then do some serious scouting. And number of options here from Czech. Czech could either go for, he did do the extractor trick for just a moment in order to get into 11/18 and now 13/18, trying to go for a very strong economy as quickly as possible. He could either go for a fast hatchery or go for a spawning pool. Both options are very good, and almost getting the surround onto that probe. The probe now being able to back away, just continuing to look around the map, trying to see if it is going to be an earlier spawning pool or an earlier hatchery. He does see that the spawning pool has been placed down, so with the spawning pool there, he knows that the chances of an earlier hatchery are a little bit or significantly delayed, as the spawning pool does cost 200 minerals. Probe now deciding to back away. We'll head down that ramp, no, back in, and taking a look to see if it's going to be an extractor next. The extractor would let you know whether he's going to try to go for a one base play, and the delayed, oh no, he now finally sees a drone making its way out. That drone now going to grow up to be a hatchery, giving him a very strong economic lead and perhaps a take into the early mid game. Back in the base of oGs's MC now getting the cybernetics core. Maybe I should try to whisper, I don't know. oGs's cybernetics core now just being warped in as well. We do have one assimilator already up, second assimilator now being warped in. So with two assimilators, oGs can either go for a lot of 4-gate with sentries and stalker focus, or he can try to go higher up into that tech count, perhaps getting some the Twilight Council, the robotics facility, or that Stargate. Probe still wandering around back over here as those two Zerglings now trying to take down that probe. Two Zerglings can take down a probe, as one Zergling is able to run around the other so that the shields on a probe are not able to regenerate in time. Generally, if it is just one Zergling, that other Zergling is unable to deal enough damage before the shields start to regenerate, and oh, that probe looks like it is going to get taken down, and now more damage being dealt to those Zerglings. Zerglings activating the Xel'Naga watchtower and now able to escape. So the scouting probe has now been destroyed. Zergling's now going to run all the way back home and perhaps try to set up some more natural defense. The metabolic boost is now currently being researched, and all the drones from the extractor have now been pulled away, so those drones look like they will be doing some more mining over here at the natural expansion, and now trying to just start saturating the natural expansion location. It should give in a little bit of a stronger economic lead, but he is behind on harvesters, 22 compared to 18. As soon as those queens are out though, there's going to be a lot of larvae and the ability to train up to 8 drones at a time, especially after that spawn larva lays down, and then getting a very strong economic lead. Zerglings now trying to test the water, sees that there are stalkers chasing them away, so the Zerglings now trying to run away, getting an even larger number of stalkers, but without that metabolic boost, unable to get a real surround onto those stalkers as Zerglings are getting picked apart. Zergling now just going to walk all the way back home and see whether or not they can deal any serious damage to those stalkers. Stalkers now trying to run away, shooting and scooting, dealing damage back towards those Zerglings. Zerglings are getting attacked left and right. Perhaps that front stalker that is a little bit lower on shields to try to run around to that back, and then that would allow him, allow that one stalker to generate those shields naturally. Zerglings now finally have that metabolic boost, and they may be able to make it up that ramp, and we could have a unit being warped in here. And now the stalker now positioning itself in just the right location, making it very difficult. And now more sentries, I believe, are being warped in. Yeah, 4 sentries now being warped in, but stalkers now engaging and battling here. Oh, a force field pushing on the wrong location there. Down it goes, and the zealots and stalkers are going to all fall to the swarm of Zerglings, even though it is flanked on one side. So those Zerglings were able to find their target and look to deal even more damage. Zerglings now trying to peck away at the Nexus here. The Nexus taking some damage, but I believe the Nexus will be able to come up unless it is cancelled. Back here though, we already have a proxy pylon by oGs. The proxy pylon here will be able to warp in units along that high ledge as long as he has sight. The probe now just wandering around that backside, perhaps going to set up another probe down over here as those Zerglings are trying to take down this Nexus. I do not believe they will be able to, as those sentries and Zerglings, oh, just swarming in now, getting so much damage, so many force fields, and now a Zealot being warped in to make sure that the Zerglings do not try to run up that ramp, as it is already in position there. One Zergling was able to squeeze by, but not much else can be done. The sentries are now going to get picked apart by those Zerglings. Down they go. 2 Zerglings now are left, going to try to run back home, hide in the shadows, as we now see 6 roaches and 10 Zerglings currently being produced. Those Zerglings now trying to take down this Nexus over here. A lot of damage is going to be dealt. Yeah, just more damage being dealt. Back over here we have Zealots and sentries making their way south towards the bottom portion, and now oGs is trying to engage, and oh, it was cancelled. So the Nexus was cancelled. So this is now going to become a more all-in attempt from oGs. oGs, who cancelled his Nexus, realizes that he needs to engage and deal a lot of damage with these units. Stalkers are going to get shot down, and now Zerglings getting force field, but unable to get that last force field in time. Those Zerglings are able to engage against those sentries, as those roaches are engaging against those Stalkers, and those Stalkers are just going to fall one at a time. And now with no real army, I think oGs is going to be in full retreat mode, trying to re-establish any sort of lead that he did have. His army about the same size, but he does not have the economy, doesn't have the Nexus, and there's the GG. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening to this rather shorter game here in the Xel'Naga Caverns. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I think this will probably be my last cast for the day. I will try to cast some games for tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure about that. Normally Sunday is my day of rest in order to just recuperate my voice, but maybe I need 2 more days. So yeah, only 2 games today. There is another game between these 2 players, oGs MC and Czech. I believe it is on Typhoon Peaks. Go ahead and check that out as well.